Hi there, it's Day of DayWilliams.com, and I say natural beauty and style consultant. Anything that has to do with healthy beauty and style, I am just all about it. Yeah, and natural makeup too. I have to add that one. I'm in love with natural makeup. So blah blah. That's a little bit about me. And what I want to talk with you about today is a question that I get asked regularly because people often look at me and apparently I look like an example of something that they would be interested in having in their life. And health and glowiness and vibrancy and whatnot. And one of the most common questions I get, which I find very interesting, is really what I think about the whole organic thing. Like, is that some kind of scam or something? Like, is it worth spending more money on, or it's so expensive, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of reasons why people tend to cross it off their list of something that is worth plunking out the extra bucks for. And man, that question just blows my mind. So I often think about if I were a superhero, superhuman babe, whatever. I think I actually kind of am. But if I were and could have any power that I wanted, my power would be activation of common sense. Like shabam! I'd have a little wand and I would just lay it on them because I just find it such a contradiction to basic common sense that people are actually asking me if I think that it's worth spending money on food that is in no way toxic or poisonous. Like if there's really, that big of a difference, if it really makes sense. And I don't want to belittle that question. It just speaks to, the level of separateness we have, or a lot of people have, from their food and its sources, and really what makes something a better choice or not. So I know we're all trying to navigate, so I'm going to take any kind of shock or judgment out of it and just offer up this idea because I heard Marcus, I'm hoping I can pronounce his last name correctly, Rothkrantz, I believe is how you say it, but anyway, he was giving a speech, and he gave this analogy. Like if you saw somebody take an apple right in front of you and spray it with a can of Raid and then offer it to you or to your child, would you eat it, or would you, let your child eat it? And of course the immediate response is like, absolutely not. And then the next segue of thinking there is, well, just because you didn't see somebody do that doesn't make it any different. And the degree of, how poisonous it is, whether it's a slower kind of poison over time or whether it's something that immediately knocks your butt down, as in Snow White tales and such. It really, when you break it down like that, it just really makes you get how it just makes absolutely no sense whatsoever to be making choices that are in any way introducing things into our systems that we then have to deal with the consequences. So I just have this to say, you're going to spend money one way or the other. Would you rather spend it on the upgraded quality of food and support that being what's happening more on the planet, and thus, eventually the price becoming more reachable for people? Or do you want to spend less money on your food, but then more money on your health care? Because there's just no way around it. Your body can only handle so much of a toxic load before it starts letting you know you've got problems internally. And so I get that question a lot from younger people too. And one of the things I've witnessed, being at the age range that I am, which is I'm going to turn 55 on my next birthday, and so I've seen a lot of people make different choices along the way. And what I notice is that when they hit about 40 or 45, if they've been regularly introducing things into their system that are toxic in any way, it just really starts showing up, and it starts showing up quickly. And once you have one system or organ that's compromised, and your liver is usually the first thing that's going to take the hit on that kind of buildup of toxicity, it's not far or long before the other ones start following suit. So it doesn't matter where you are right now. It doesn't matter what you've been putting in or what you know about anything. You can always make a decision that you at least want to know how to make better choices for yourself. And I really want to encourage people to be so aware of the fact that we're all voting constantly for what we want more of, what we want more of, what we want more of. And how we're doing that is every time something is scanned at the register and you hear the little ding, 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 beep, you have just cast a vote. And I learned that from a film. I think it might have been Food Inc. or one of those offerings to the world as far as empowering information. And that has just stuck with me, man, that it's not like this annual or a couple times a year where you go into some booth and like cast a vote. It's every single time you're spending your money on one thing or another, because that, we all know it, money is what points the arrows and the decision making, factors one direction or another. And so I just really try and stay in integrity and in alignment as much as possible with what I'm spending my money on, knowing that's how I'm voting. So, okay, that's a lot of words around organic, but there's nothing that I feel like I've made a better investment on in my whole life than making good, healthy choices for myself. And as I'm alive longer and longer, and looking at other people's medicine cabinets or just seeing their bathrooms, the number of prescriptions that they have, dealing with one thing or another, I just feel so appreciative of myself for, at a pretty young age, getting that, just recognizing that the choices that you're making every single day are determining what you're getting immediately, but particularly down the road. And I expect to have a good return on my investment. So I make the cleanest, healthiest, highest choice I can with whatever funds I have available. And believe me, sometimes I am doing the money dance like nobody's business. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's enough said. I'm so interested in comments, and if people are looking for ideas and easy upgrades that they can make, I'm so happy to share anything I know or point you in a direction of any of the resources that I listen to or learn from. So just really, with all my heart, wishing you the best health. And I know that everything comes out of that, like how we look comes out of that, but even more so it's just how we feel. When you're healthy, you feel good, and when you're not healthy, you do not feel good, and it makes it very hard to show up with any kind of enthusiasm for life when you just don't feel good. So yeah, I'm rooting for you to set higher standards for yourself about how you want to feel going through each day. And yeah, know that it's as sincere as it gets from me. All right, there you have it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.